Hello,
Welcome.
everyone. Good evening for us, but good morning or good afternoon, whatever you are. This is our 60th show, and we have a nice special guest. We have Mat Voice today. We're gonna quickly play his show reel to introduce him a little bit better, and we're gonna let him tell what who is Matt. Give just 1 second. Let me just share here with everyone. Make sure we do that all the time, but we always make wrong. Should be fine now. Can you hear the voice?
Yep.
El momento perfecto es aquí y ahora.
Wild cherry.
Circle, search,
Nice.
I feel
Really cool.
energized.
Yeah, it's
Good, good.
I think it's a new show reel.
Yeah, it was. I did it. I know 6 months ago.
Okay.
First personal show reel. I'd done like agency reels in the past, so I had a bit of practice. But then that was the first time doing it for myself, which was the hardest client.
That's good. That's good. So for
Well,
who
you're always
doesn't
your
know
most
Matt,
worst critic, aren't you? Like yourself, you're always your
yeah,
own worst critic. Like
Yeah,
you just because
absolutely.
and also you haven't got a deadline in place. It's like, well, I'll just do this, and then that's not.
Yeah,
I'll do that. And it
yeah,
goes on.
yeah, it's true.
yeah.
It's true. So for who doesn't know Matt is a graphic and motion design based in UK. He's based in the north of England, and Matt is really known for all the kinetic and colorful experimentation he does. But Matt, how do you describe who is Matt? Tell us a little bit.
So he is a trained sort of graphic designer who moved into motion design after finding like a love for typography and lettering and kind of just falling into it really, falling into motion design and making things move and just finding kind of like a niche and something that just kind of worked and I just kind of just ran with it and pushed it as much as possible and continue to push it and just to see what's possible really with it.
It's nice.
Were
So
you
you
were
said
you
you used. Sorry, go ahead, James.
sorry? Were you always into animation, like even as a kid, or did it was it something that kind of just clicked like later on? Go, oh, I can do this and make it move.
Yeah, I loved like films and TV growing up. I obviously this was before like Netflix or social media, so like I used to watch VHS tapes. I had like a few favorite films and they were like recorded from the TV and I just watched them over and over. And yeah, I was always into like cartoons as well. I used to draw like my own comic strips. I made like this bird
Wow.
versus worm comic strip as I was a kid and I was just into it and just drawing. I used to draw like Futurama characters and Simpsons characters. So I was always into it and always into like TV shows, like after school TV shows, like massively into that. So yeah, it was always there. I just never realized that I would kind of be like making things move eventually
It's,
on a
it's
computer.
interesting, you mentioned like, Saturday morning TV and or kids TV and on VHS because there's definitely that aesthetic that runs through. Like some of your stuff kind of reminds me of, I don't know, do you remember a TV show called um or was it Grange Hill? Do you remember Grange
Yeah,
Hill?
yeah, yeah. I still remember the
Like
theme tune.
yeah, it's such that theme tune is banging. But the original theme tune had like a really nice kind of like comic book text and it kind of went in and out of comic books.
Mm,
And there's definitely an element of that to some of the stuff you've been doing as well, which is quite cool.
yeah, they're definitely some of those like TV shows definitely have like a I don't know, they've just ingrained in my subconscious and it's kind of just rubbed off in my adult life in a way.
Because
See, people when
you're.
at that era they said that watching TV was a waste of time. Absolute bollocks.
Yeah,
We can say
exactly.
to the kids as well nowadays.
Yeah.
But you start. I remember watching you. For who doesn't know, Matt came and did a really amazing talk, and Evo the live show we have, and I think was really nice to see the progress as well because you start more as a graphic design
Mm,
with still images.
yeah.
And what makes you really, click and want to move? Because nowadays, who see your work is complete, fully animated, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite hard. You can see the design side of that, but I wouldn't imagine your work nowadays without movement anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I I I mean I kind of learned Illustrator at uni, like really roughly. And I did like a motion module on After Effects, and I hated it. I just didn't like it at all. I couldn't stand it. Um, and I mean, you saw the animation that I made in like my talk. I showed my first animation. So I kind of like steered away from that when I went into the industry and thought like motion's not really my thing. But I was always into like illustration. And that's going back from like my childhood still. Like I'd make like personal projects on like films and movies, and then I started making like type posters, kind of like the one that's behind you, just like posters that were pure type.
Mm.
And the aim was to like maybe sell them. Maybe I could sell them online. Maybe that'd be like an avenue of like revenue in a way. Um, and then at the same time, I was working at like design agencies and learning just about Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, like all of those sort of static packages, as it were. And like in my last agency role, the client base was like big brands. It was like Universal, MTV, like these massive agency brands and sort of global names, you like household names. And I started to get to grips with like really detailed illustration, but I would always bring in typography into that, and I was like the guy to do type in a way in the studio. So it was always like my thing, and I loved
But you
like
typecast.
yeah, yeah, I loved like exploring that and just doing that kind of stuff. And um because I kind of like had the skills to like design stuff, when I slowly started to bring motion back into my day job, I'd then go home and use those skills that I'd learned how to animate like characters, but just whack it on typography and lettering. Um
It's cool.
and it just kind of like snowballed. Like I just found like it was really like cathartic and therapeutic to kind of like make words move.
Mm.
And I found it quite easy as well compared to characters, like rigging up characters. Like I found that like really like taxing, and like I can never get it to look how I wanted it to look. Whereas type like just kind of came together nicely. Um, and yeah, I kind of got addicted to doing that. And then COVID came and it was like a daily practice.
It's quite interesting with the animating type versus like when you say like rigging up a character to get them moved because
Mm,
you can get it's quite interesting because you can get so much personality into like a letter
mm.
with just such basic animation.
Yeah, that's
Whereas,
what I
I mean,
found.
you can do that in character design as well, but yeah, obviously you have to design a character around that, make a
Yeah.
basic character or whatever. But yeah, it's quite interesting that you're not doing character animation, but you are doing character animation, but in a different in a
Yeah.
certain type of way, I guess.
Yeah, the
And I
character's
think,
almost designed like it's already like it's been made, which maybe that was kind of
Yeah.
why it was easier at the time. It was like a shortcut to making things move and to doing it easier. But yeah, the letter's already designed, so then you've just got to move it
Mm.
in a way.
and it's
What
nice because I think the simplest the object, the more hard to transmit like feelings
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
And I think it's something you do really well when we watch your text. Even you use the word, but you animating a way then really transmit the same feeling than the word is saying. So
Mm,
I think it stands out quite a lot of your work nowadays.
nice. Yeah, it's definitely got better. Like the first few attempts were pretty there wasn't much
Yeah.
easing. It was pretty rough and pretty loose. But yeah, I mean, it just comes to practice, right? It's just repetition
Yeah.
and finding your groove in a way.
Yeah,
So when
and I think
you're
it's just nice because if anyone goes to Matt's Instagram, he constantly animates, he's constantly posting things, and I think people sometimes forget we keep the projects to ourselves because we always
Mm.
think, oh, this is not too great,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you use your Instagram as a page, then it's kind of your sketchbook but for animation, so you
yeah.
can see always something comes to like a good example. I just jumped to your Instagram and the iPhone Pro 17 just came out,
Mm.
and you went there and animated the Pro word, how you would animate, if you
Yeah,
did the job. So I
yeah.
think that is really nice to see, and it's a good example for people then starting in the industry because they're always trying to find a work. but they're not really putting the time on there. And I
Mhm.
can see really nice on your. I think it's a good example for anyone wanna, get into the industry as well.
Yeah, just like
No
making,
shortcuts.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, just like making random personal projects. Like I still do it now. Just like I saw the Apple Pro type the other day, and it's like really wide type, and it's on the site, but it's not moving. And I was just like, it's just needs to move. So it's like I
it
just
needs a
Crying out for
patch
it.
there.
yeah, just make something random. Just spend an evening doing some stuff, and then just whack it out there. It's like a little scrap.
That's
So
great.
with your work, like your personal projects and everything really, um, what comes first? Is it the design and then you figure out the animation, or do you design around how you want it to move? Like it's kind of a chicken and egg, I guess, sometimes.
Mm,
But which one for you comes first?
yeah, with like the personal work, it's like design and then animating is purely on a whim now. It's more so now because I've done it so many times. I'm kind of like mentally nicking stuff from old posts and pieces and just kind of mashing it together. And but I never really have like a motion plan in mind for my personal stuff. I kind of just get the word, and if I need to stylize it in Illustrator, then I'll do some stylization or like change the paths and whatnot, and then chuck it into After Effects. But yeah, I don't really always have like a plan in mind for my personal bits. I just kind of
Hmm.
just start throwing stuff at it, and it's all just come from past pieces, and you're just nicking and chucking and throwing into the program.
I guess it was some, you see something once you design and go, oh, I think that will feel right. And it's just
Mm,
what comes to you.
yeah, it just
But what,
feels right. I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
unless this is one of those kind of it's such an abstract thing for someone who doesn't animate to understand. But when something
Mm,
feels right, you just know.
yeah, yeah, you do.
When what did you study at university then? You had like a After Effects course. After Effects is so unintuitive, but that's a
Yeah,
different topic.
yeah.
But like, so did you do a graphic design course then? And that was just part of it.
Yeah, so I studied just graphic design as like a course in Sheffield, and then second year we could was it second year? Maybe it was third year. Third year we could specialize in something, and there was like advertising, illustration, motion design, just general graphics, and there was another one. And I did advertising for a little while, but it was mainly I felt like it wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't really kind of work with me. But then yeah, in like first year when they were just like we were just like thrown into different modules each year, and like one of them was just like motion design, and it was just like 30 of us in the room following like a tutor, like doing like a course. I can't remember what they were doing, but yeah, that was the first time I kind of opened it up.
And
That's
like
cool.
Sheffield has such a great design pedigree and design scene. Like you got like Designs Republic and all that kind of lot there as
Mm,
well. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite a good place to be. But then Leeds also has Attic as well. Well, Huddersfield had Attic.
Yeah, yeah. We had some good talkers coming in, like doing like lectures. Um, they had like a graffiti artist called like Kid Acne. He came in and did
Yeah, I know
like
him. Yeah.
loads of cool stuff. And I'm ashamed to say this, David Carson came in to do a lecture,
Oh wow.
and I didn't go to it even though I bought a ticket, which was so stupid of me. And I regret that.
There used to be this really awesome drum and bass night in Sheffield, like kind of like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I think it stopped at about 2006. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
but at the time it was like legendary. It's called NY Sushi, and all the branding and stuff originally was done by Designs Republic, and then
All right.
later on, they brought on Kid Acne, who used to do all the flyers and stuff. I got a drawer full of
Oh,
flyers somewhere from
nice.
it, and man,
Nice.
it's such nice design, and it's a great era because that's when um what's it called? Like Wipeout came out, and Designs
Yeah,
Republic were
yeah.
frigging everywhere, like all their stuff for like Pop Elite itself and all that kind of stuff. It was a great time.
Nice. Yeah, good era.
Are they still going or did they shut down?
Designs Republic shut down.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, so they closed down years and years and years ago. But then Ian Anderson still does talks. If he's watching, we should totally get him to see no evil. But anyway, whatever. He does talks under Designs Republic now, and then but obviously a
Oh,
lot of them
okay.
branched off to like Universal Everything, Build Design, and
Yeah.
and a few others too. So they're around, but in a different form now, I guess.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because Build's in Leeds.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
A really good.
He's in is it Ilkley? I think he's in Ilkley.
Is it? I'm not sure.
It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, I
But
know
yeah,
they used to be in Tower Works, right in the center, but they're like a really small, really hard to get into studio, and it's kind of one of those places that you kind of really kind of wanted to work if you loved graphic design and proper
mm.
like brand sort of design. But yeah, hard to get into.
Mm.
I was talking to Michael, well, a couple of years ago now. So I bought the Wipeout book, which is
Mm,
all the branding from the Wipeout game, which him and his wife worked on. I was like, "Would you mind signing it if I drop by?" And he said, "Yeah." And then I just haven't had a chance to follow up. But it took like a year or so to arrive from pre-order, to be fair.
yeah.
But yeah, I need to drop him a line. But again, he's another one I would love to get on the show. I remember asking him years ago because he used to live in Walthamstow in London before they moved back up north. I was like, "Well, we're just down the road. Do you want to sure don't want to come on for a show?" But I think
Yeah.
he was a bit shy back in the day, but I think he's totally fine now.
Yeah, he's
Mm.
getting on.
Mm.
I have a really good Dave Oko is here on the watching you and
Oh.
ask. He has a really good question. So David is our next live show in 7th of September. Gonna come and talk, but he has a really good question. He said, if you ever consider, uh, translate or move your work to 3D space as well, get into 3D renders.
Mm,
That's I'm quite interested to know the answer as well because seeing your work is fully 2D and everything, and but moving to a 3D perspective, it
yeah.
shifts quite a lot the way to think how to animate as well.
Yeah, I would love to. It's like the last kind of one of the last avenues in my eyes to explore with type in motion, like because I feel like I've done a lot of different styles in 2D, so like it's like the last area to do. It's just I don't know. Part of me is like I'd need to invest in a computer, like a proper computer, because I'm just on a MacBook still. And I tried to render a static scene out of Cinema 4D on my old MacBook, and it blew it up. It black screened it.
Oh
And it was just
no.
like three lines of type, like shiny type in like a composition, and it killed my laptop, and it kind of like put me off. But there's other things I've tried before. I've tried like Womp. I did like a collaboration with Womp last year, which was fun. But you can't animate in it, so it's kind of like I kind of like threw it into After Effects to make it move essentially.
No.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely something that I would love to do. Yeah, it's on my list. It's definitely on my list, and
Takes
it's
time as well. It's completely different than just going to Illustrator,
yeah,
Photoshop, and do the
Mm.
design there.
yeah, and I know cinema. I know aspects of cinema because I kind of used to do packaging mock-ups in my last agency role for like toy packaging. So I kind of know the basics. I know my way around it, like mapping and things like that, and building. So I just need to maybe I don't know, maybe one day I'll invest and try it and just see what happens and just start like I did with After Effects from the basics up and just start making stuff and posting it and see what happens.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to, it's a bit more like a technical question, but just jump in the 3D in After Effects as well. It's not the best software for that, but
Mm,
for like people don't have a lot experience in 3D, that sometimes helps a lot, especially if it's just type, then it's a lot lighter, then it's less complex meshes and
yeah.
everything. But I saw quite a lot of nice things coming out, people using the
Mm,
3D in After Effects as well.
yeah. So I
There
use
is
go on.
sorry, I was gonna say there's packaged with After Effects, there's After Effects Lite. Sorry, Cinema 4D Lite, I
Mm,
think, which I think you can do again like basic things or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of use that in a way, but I use like the Cinema 4D renderer in After Effects, mainly
Okay, yeah.
just to extrude type.
Yeah.
Because some of the posts that I do, like I want the type to spin or to have like depth to it. So I use like the extrude and the cameras, but that's kind of like as far as it goes. And I've seen some people doing like some really nice like 3D textured kind of stuff in After Effects using those like switches and modes and applying
Nice.
like what's it called? Kind of like applying like UV maps and things. So I need to like yeah, look into it because maybe I can do it where I'm at right now
Yeah,
and not have to get
they have
cinema.
what is the name? I forgot the name. Is they have it's like the guys does video copilot. They have the three. Forgot they have a plugin
Oh,
that works a whole
mm.
3D engine inside the After Effects. Feels quite
Hmm.
powerful as well.
Is that Element 3D? Is that what it was called?
Element 3D. Yeah,
Oh,
I never
okay.
opened
Right.
that, but it's
Yeah.
looks
It's,
quite
that's been
powerful. So
superseded though. I think it's been
mm,
superseded by Adobe really, because now you can import 3D objects, OBJs, and all that kind of stuff into After Effects.
yeah,
So I think they
yes,
kind of screwed over Andrew Kramer a little bit.
yeah. So we're gonna see Matt doing some 3D soon.
Yeah,
It's a
hopefully.
challenge. We leave it here, a challenge
I
for you,
know.
man.
It needs to be done. I need to do it. I've been thinking about it for years, so now's the time, really.
Do you get clients ask you that, or normally when you get the projects, it's really more free?
Yeah, it's more free and it's normally 2D based stuff. Just because it's normally like a lot of it's like a lot of supers or like just title work kind of thing. So it never really calls for it. And because they've kind of seen what I've done in the past, I don't think they really ever
Hmm.
asked me to sort of do 3D other than like extruding type, like bouncing extruding type kind of, which is in my sort of locker of styles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
like
the clients
the
normally goes to what they see as well. They never
Yeah.
yeah,
goes
exactly.
really creative
Mm.
enough to brave enough to ask people to
Yeah.
create something new.
Yeah.
It's true.
So how do you find like working up? I mean, I guess everything's a bit different nowadays. So everything's kind of remote, so it doesn't matter as much.
Mm.
But how do you find like working up in Leeds compared to like the traditional, being down London way or like a mega city kind of thing?
Yeah, I find really because I never really worked in London. Had like job interviews there, but I never got a job there. So and then because I worked in agencies, and then when COVID came in, I was working from home for like a year and a half with an agency, and then I was starting freelancing then, and then I kind of just never
Mm.
left from I left my job during COVID, so I never had that split from like working in an agency to like then being at home on my own because I was working at home on my own for like with a team for those like 12, 18 months. Um, but all of my work's in America mainly, like 90% of
Oh,
it
okay.
is US. It's just where it appeals and it's where the projects come. So
So was
yeah,
that from? Do you used to work at an agency in Leeds or
yeah,
somewhere or
yeah, in the
remotely as
city
well?
centre, an agency called Analog.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that is the slight, I say, the benefit of COVID, as it were. That it did shift the way a lot of companies work, where a lot of people didn't want to do remote work, but they were
Yeah,
forced to, and it's like, well, actually, we can still get the work done, and we can
yeah.
still and we can hire people from all over the world now. So I think in terms of your timing, that's pretty optimal, really.
Yeah, it did work out really well, and like there are days where I really do miss being in the analog studio with all those lot because they were like my best mates at the time, really, just like
Mm.
working next to each other.
It's
But
just
yeah,
nice to bounce ideas sometimes, isn't it? With like like-minded folks, and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
one thing that can't be
definitely.
replicated too much.
No, not when you're at home on your own. Like it's just yeah, it doesn't happen.
And for who doesn't know, Matt has a son as well and waiting for another one.
Hmm.
How do you manage all, man? Because working from home is one thing, working from home with a kid is a complete
Mm.
different story. And working from home, doing the job and having a kid, and also putting out so much work you put on the Instagram as well.
Yeah.
How do you balance all that?
Yeah, so I've definitely learned like to maximize my like daytime time. Like from like I don't know, it's easier now because he's in nursery, but originally like
Mm,
during maternity when my wife was on maternity, I took like a month off and eased myself back in, but it was hard to kind of I don't know find making personal projects just wasn't important. Like especially when there's like
yeah.
you've got a baby like a newborn baby, it's just not.
It shifts perspective a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was only bothered about staying afloat with like freelance jobs, and taking them on when and where they came. So I kind of got into like a good balance straight away, and I'd already started to like cut back on personal project time, and because that's where I used to spend a lot of my hours outside of work. Like I
Mm,
would just sit on the sofa in the evening, just watching TV. I'd just open my laptop and just start making stuff. Just got into like that rhythm, and I'd had that rhythm for years. So it kind of felt very natural. And then because I'd hit a bit of burnout, funnily enough, at the start of was it start of last year? Yeah, the start of last year, and our kid was born in April that year. So like I because I'd hit burnout, I'd already started to strip back on projects and stop doing them as much because I just couldn't have the energy. I didn't like I'd
Mm.
open my laptop even before my child and just be like I'd write a word out and it just wouldn't move in my head
Mm.
and I'd just be like, oh, I'd just stop. So luckily I'd kind of stopped a while and this year especially like I've really like cut back on those projects and now like I'm I'm focusing on doing like I mean I always there was a point where I did like quantity over quality. Like I would kind of just not for Instagram, but I just make stuff and make stuff quickly and just post it out and just be like, this is today's experiment. And now like I'm kind of like really taking my time and spending like a few days to make a personal piece or like a week to make a personal piece and then posting it out. Um, and just trying to make maximize like all the skills and make something really cool and something I'm really proud of instead of just firing something out for like Instagram or like a quick test kind of.
Do you
Mm.
find that since you've become a father, and like I said, it does shift perspective in certain
Mm.
in ways you don't really, I don't know, you don't really know until it happens. Like it kind of shifts the way you think about certain things. Do you think that's influenced your creative output in terms of like your ideas and all that kind of side of things? Has it changed the way you think?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I mean, I've definitely like recently I've taken like inspiration from like a kids show that we've watched with him, like some like the color palettes and things like that, and the design styles. Like, they're definitely feeding into my work now, and you kind of get like you know what like your childhood was like, but now like your eyes are open to like what our modern day kids are seeing, like the toys, the shows, like the media, like all that kind
I
of like
love the
feeds back
naivety as
into it.
well. I love the
Yeah,
purity.
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like it does feed in and it has have an effect. And I did start to do projects based on like things that my kid was seeing. Like I did like a personal project on like a baby Nike Dunk, like a tiny toddler shoe. Um,
Mhm.
so like I'm trying to take like aspects of that. And yeah, and just I've got to do it because it's kind of like a plug. But David, your next guest, who is like the most wonderful human,
Yeah, I saw the post. Yeah.
he's a lovely guy, and he sent me these after my kid was born.
Oh wow,
And
they're
he
amazing.
Cool.
customized a pair of Pumas for me. He doesn't fit in them yet, but he's soon to fit in them. Um,
So
so
you're
yeah,
gonna wear, or you're gonna make him wear, or you're gonna keep us
I,
safe?
yeah, I don't know
Is
yet.
the
They're on my
question,
desk
yeah.
still.
Maybe you put
Just
Obviously,
only
one foot, just one
one
foot.
foot, only one foot, buy
they're
the
not
same
going to
one.
nursery. Put it that way. No way. Not the state things come
Yeah,
back from nursery. Um, so yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
I always feel like one of the main reasons of becoming a parent is you can basically relive your childhood, and it's an excuse to buy toys again and go, oh, maybe my son wants that, when
Yeah,
really it's you.
yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
Sometimes,
try to pull off.
yeah, sometimes we watch shows and we're like, who's enjoying this more, us or him?
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
find like working in animation. There's definitely some TV shows I wouldn't let my daughter watch because they were just shit quality animation.
Yeah.
Like if it's stuff like like really good stuff like Hey Duggy or whatever, it's like no, we're watching Hey Duggy because then
Yeah.
there's something in it for both of us.
It's
Uh,
funny you say that. That's what we watch. That's what we're massively into. Like,
it's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I like watching it and working out how they've done stuff. And I think I know how they
Yeah.
animate it because I follow them on Instagram. But like, there's just some things that they do, and I'm just like, how did they do that? And
It's the
my brain's
timing.
like,
The
just
time. It's the
Yeah,
animation timing is amazing. Like sometimes you'll just jump from one frame to another, but it just works.
yeah,
But
so so
yeah, I
good.
remember like years ago because Thiago's daughter is a little bit older than mine. So when Thiago had his kid, he was like, "Oh yeah, check out Sticky Sticky Stick Stick." I'm like, "This is in
Uh,
my head for the next couple of years."
that's a mistake. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to.
the episode is great.
I'm gonna have to send my wife's dad got Freddie, our kid, into Dougie because of the stick song because he showed it to her brother's kids. After this, I'll have to send you a video because it's his favorite song on it, and he's only like 17, 18 months old, but like he loves
Wow.
that song, and it comes on, and he's just like stick, 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 stick.
But it's so good. It's so good, and the animation is so simple, but it's so well done,
Yeah,
and the song works so well.
yeah, it's
It's
quality.
great. It's great, and yeah, you're gonna love when you come to Hey Doug. Not Hey Doug. Bluey. Bluey is
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Bluey's
know.
the next
great.
stage, and it's great as well. I
Yeah.
think I watch more than my daughter likes to watch.
Great.
It's so
Are
good,
you at the
especially being a dad. He has the dad is so silly and make
Yeah,
jokes. It's just amazing.
but
relatable.
what
Amazing.
makes them really work, and it's the same with both the animations, is there's something for everybody. Like there's something for the
Yeah.
grown-ups in there. There's so many just nice little details that,
Yeah,
you get some really crappy TV shows like fucking Coco Melon or whatever. And
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's just absolute trash. But with
yeah,
stuff like Hey Dougie and Bluey, there's just so many nice things for people of any age to pick up on. Like, there's jokes that will go over the kid's head that you will find funny, and
Yeah.
that's what makes great animation as
yeah,
well, or great storytelling anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
My wife's dad always says, "This is too good for kids." He says it every
It's true.
time we
It's
watch
true.
it. Every time we watch stuff like that.
Yeah, it's true. Matt, I want to unpack a little bit. You comment just before you had a burnout. It's a subject I really love to talk because I think we don't talk as much on the industry now. And it's a really common thing,
Mhm.
especially after work for a long time on the industry. People, it's common to have a burnout, mental breakdown, and things like that.
Mhm.
And you said it took you a while, just to feel you could do things again. Can you just talk a little bit, what helped you, to come out of the burnout? Because it's something happened. I think everyone wants, at least in the life, it's gonna happen on a career, and
Yeah.
it's nice to hear
Yeah.
everyone's story. How people come out of that because it guides a lot of people.
Yeah, luckily it didn't affect my client work. Because I knew we had a child come in, I was enthusiastic as ever to do my client work and to get my days done. It was when I was trying to open my computer to do my personal stuff that there was just nothing. Um, and I was almost like competing with myself after like 4 or 5 years of posting. Like I spent like honestly like 2.5 years posting essentially every day.
Wow.
I made like, and I still have. I had like 800 900 personal tests and experiments and pieces that were Instagram posts because I was just making them every day from that COVID period, which helped me go freelance essentially. But it just came to a head, and like I I don't know, I started to see things that I was making were like getting reused by other people on Instagram, and they were
Mm.
getting used for like campaigns, but I wasn't involved in them, and I
Oh,
felt like it was like my style, but it wasn't my style. So then like I almost started like compete with myself, and I was getting like really like just really like into my own work in like the worst way. I was just like almost obsessing about like I need to get something out tonight. Like it's what like 8:30. If I get something out by 11, then maybe like I can get some more work, or people will remember that that's my. And it was really toxic. It was awful. Like
Wow.
I just felt like I was fighting myself, and that's when like I was just opening the computer, and it was just like there's just nothing there. Like I got to a point where I just run out of steam, and
Do you think
client
you
work
stop
was quite.
enjoying what you were doing as well?
Yeah, and I was getting the client brief, so I was having like the input from there, so there was no like problem in coming up with ideas and design and animating. But like, yeah, I just would open, type a word out, and be like, oh, I'm going to animate the word like pulse tonight, and it was just like, oh, typing it out, trying to design it, and it's just nothing at all, and I just couldn't articulate in my head like how this would move, and I would try and throw it into After Effects and start moving stuff and be like, oh, I've done this 1,000 times. Like there was like no desire to do these personal pieces anymore at all. Like just run out of steam, and I mean I feel like I burnt the candle at both ends for a long time with like personal pieces and client work. Um, because I was taking on everything and doing everything possible, and I felt like it was going to come at some point. So luckily it came before we had that like first child, because I think if it'd come
Mm.
after then it would have been like, yeah, that would have been really bad.
Do you
Um,
think having the child help you to
mm,
overcome that as well?
it's like a
If you
forced
yeah,
break.
just
You can't.
focus your
You have to have
yeah
it.
inspiration and
yeah.
refocus your mentality as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because I to kind of like get out of that slump, I took how long did I take off? I took like 8 weeks off of making personal pieces. So I was still doing client work because I mean I had to make a
Yeah.
living. But
Mm.
then every night I would just at 5, 6 p.m. whenever it was, whenever my day was done, laptop was done, and I would just wouldn't make anything. I would still go on Instagram to like repost people's work or share stuff that I liked, but like I was just not making anything. I was like, I'm gonna just see how long I can go without making stuff and just see when it feels right. And yeah, it was like 7, 8 weeks in the end. And then that's when I came back and I did a piece that took me like a week or 2 weeks to do. I spent like time finding footage, designing type, rotoscoping, practicing stuff that like I hadn't done, and trying to find ways to like bring type into a personal piece that wasn't just lettering on screen. It was like involved with like footage and textures and transitions. And that really helped, like taking that much time off and then just working on like one piece. And it almost felt like a bit of a personal comeback. Like I posted that and it was just like, yeah, I feel like I'm back. Like it wasn't about like the engagement or the comments or the likes, but it felt like it was new and I'd opened like a new direction for like making work. And it did in turn bring in work that was kind of similar to it. So it felt like it paid off. And that's when it was the mindset was like, right, I'm going to do less time making quantity over quality, and I'm just going to make pieces that are longer and feel like they're more and mean more to me. And then obviously we had our child, so then it was just like that doesn't matter. Like I'll post something in a week or 2 weeks, whatever. Like it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like I didn't care.
Do you
That's
find that
nice.
there's stuff like I guess in kind of our generation now, like did social media kind of add to the stress of that? Like, did
Oh
that kind of
God.
compound it all?
Yeah, what happened was there's other like type artists who are amazing designers, and they have their Instagram accounts and they post out work, and it's rare that we cross path with like jobs. Sometimes we might get pitched for the same job, but they might choose one of us or the other of us. And there was someone who I won't say any names, but they did an Instagram account, and they essentially their first post and how they got started was inspired by it was directly from my work. You could see the similarities, and like I could see how they got started. It was great to see that they got started from to do type
Mm.
animation from essentially what I was posting out there. Um, but obviously, like they took like a similar trajectory to me. Like they got really good at what they were doing, and that in turn would then bring in really good jobs. And at the time, I was like really trying to get into like doing stuff for like films and for like movies, and like that was like what I wanted to do. And it was like, I don't know what it was. It was like 11 o'clock on like a Tuesday, and I'm just going through Instagram, and this person had put this piece up, and it was for like a really big film in the cinemas, and they'd done like the type design at the end of the film, and it was like a film that I'd put out posts kind of like themed on that film to like be like, oh, I'd love to do work for this film. And this was around that realm at like the start of that year where I was starting to burn out a bit. And I saw that post, and it was just like it felt like my world was like crumbling, which is awful. It just felt like I felt like what is the point? Like, why am I even bothering making stuff?
Mm.
Like, they've just got that job, which
Just
it
feels
sounds,
unfair.
yeah, it sounds awful. It sounds like really, like jealousy filled. But I was like, why didn't they choose me? Like, why didn't I get that work? Like, I'm doing freelance jobs, but that's what I really wanted, and it was there, and someone else got it. And that social media, that was like a big factor in it, and that's why, like, yeah, after then, I like the best thing for me and what I've still done is just not gone to that account. I've not been on their
Yeah.
account. I've not engaged with their account. So I don't know what they've been posting for like the last 18 months. I've just not been on it because they're great at what they do and good on them. Let them just keep rising, keep making great stuff. But I don't want to see it because if it sends me down that kind
That's,
of rabbit hole again, then that is bad. That's not where I
that's
want to be.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it's so frustrating that social media has turned in. It kind of
Yeah.
sometimes it brings out let's say the worst, not the worst in, but not like you don't want to feel that way. That's
Yeah. It was the
not your
worst of me,
prerogative, but it
definitely.
makes you feel that way. And
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, a lot of time work is just right place, right time, and that's kind of all
Mm.
there is to it. It's just how the planets align. But the way it makes you feel is so frustrating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and looking back on like when I was like seeing posts that were like inspired by mine, like I think I was at a point where I was quite snappy with people and I was a bit like credit the artist and like I
Mm.
got probably not nasty. I never was never nasty to anyone, but like snappy and just like not like a good role model, like for someone who's maybe inspired by your work. Like that's not what you want. You don't want like the person who you're inspired by come to you and being like, this is mine. Like it's nasty.
Yeah.
Like,
You
yeah,
know, deep
Yeah,
down,
but
that's not who
it's
you are
far
as
out.
well. You like you, yeah,
Yeah, no,
unfortunately, I
that's
think
not
that
me at
the
all. It's just
industry,
social media.
yeah, and I
yeah,
think unfortunately the industry, even we trying to think is this beautiful, colorful, everyone is friends,
Mm,
but outside
yeah.
is, I think also the social media just made a lot worse. We see so many
Mm,
people copying work. We get so many clients, emails saying, oh, we want to produce this, and you ask why you don't go then, but they don't have the money to pay the artist. They want other people
mm,
copy. So it's quite sad to see, and I really push people down there.
yeah, yeah. And I think like unless I don't know, just being in that like pit and that hole makes you realize you never want to be in it again. And if deleting Instagram or getting off Instagram for a month is what you
mm.
need to do, then just get rid of it, like for your own mental sake and mental health.
I
Yeah,
did do
it's
I did do like a digital detox for a while where I deleted
Mm,
Facebook, everything off of my phone and whatever. So it was just limited to one space, so I just kept it at arm's length.
yeah,
I genuinely think that helps a lot, especially with
yeah,
it's like with work. Like sometimes it's nice to leave work at work, and I think it's the
yeah.
same with social media. Sometimes it's nice to leave it off your phone and off whatever where it just can't get to you.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's hard. I've heard on a podcast is this concept they call the cocaine and the kale, like the vegetable kale phone. The guy has a cocaine phone, then has everything you need, Instagram and everything, and he uses just when he's at work. Once he get home, he put on the drawer. He takes the other phone he called the kale phone, the vegetable one, and it has
Right.
only like you can listen to music and things. So he goes
Yeah.
for a walk. No one has that number, just like his wife or someone. So you can just connect to him if really
Yeah.
needs, but he doesn't get addicted to, "Oh, I need to open, because with me it
Mm.
happens quite a lot. Sometimes you're on the Instagram and you go does something and I need to send an email or something. You open the first thing is already open Instagram and you end up spending at least 10 minutes there until you realize what you need to do again. It just
Doom
Yeah.
sucks all
scrolling,
your
man. I
time.
hate doom
Yeah.
scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've noticed like I've got up out of bed and like I've opened my phone. It's the first thing I've gone on. I've literally opened my phone. I've been
Yeah.
awake for like
Mm.
5 minutes and I've pressed Instagram app. Just
Yeah.
yeah, just out of like muscle memory, which is it's awful.
It
It's
is.
It's
It
terrible.
like
is.
you open your phone, scroll, and then suddenly you're 43.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and he can't, it's crazy, like, it's just like brainwashed that you just get,
Mm.
like, supply with so much
Mm,
pleasure watching, like, silly videos. Sometimes you just keep scrolling, and when you see,
yeah.
it's like
Well,
James said, the time just pass.
yeah. Well, we find like the scariest thing is we try and like not be around our phones around Freddie, like especially when he's been at
Yeah,
nursery with it and we get like
Good idea.
2.5 hours with him in the evening before he goes to bed. And like we try not to be on our phones around him. But obviously we're on our phones here and there and it's impossible not to be on your phone. And like he might be so young now that he doesn't comprehend what things are, but he can pick up a phone and he can get his finger and
yeah,
he's swiping. And even he's not looking for anything, but he can literally swipe a phone
yeah,
and he knows what
They're
he's
so
doing.
intuitive. It's crazy how intuitive
Yeah,
they are. Like I remember
yeah.
that my daughter had like a play phone just because it was in a bag of toys that we were very kindly given, and she instantly knew how to use it. And we're the same as you. We're the same as you. Like we try to keep our daughter away from screen time as much as possible, TV time now, so she's a bit older, as much as possible. But yeah, she just instantly picked it up and went,
Just knows.
it's
Yeah.
"We are
yeah, it's
doomed."
crazy. And they watch what we doing and they replicate the same
Well,
thing.
yeah, that's
They
it.
they are a lot fast learners and intelligent than we used to be when in the same age.
Yeah,
It's
For
crazy.
yeah,
sure.
It's crazy.
yeah.
It's quite scary to think because I don't have like just as we talk about parents in it's just the amount of kids you see also on the game and the amount of like
Mm.
young kids is getting depression and anxiety, is the biggest. I think it's about like 50-70% increase from
Mm,
previous
Really?
generation. Yeah, it's
uh,
so high the level, and you see a lot of cases of kids you know, commit suicide and things like that just because being bullying online.
because of
So
phones,
it's
social
it's
media.
so hard. It's so hard. It's like for us, I think we still a generation we can separate the life, the
We're
real
still
life
half
and
analog.
what's going inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But for them, that's is one life. Whatever
yeah.
happened inside is the same for us. What happened outside. So it's really
I think
weird to think.
the frustrating part is because of what we do for a living, we are tied to screens and social media in one way or another. Like
Mm,
if I, if I had the opportunity to delete everything, I'll delete everything. But the fact of the matter is, we use it for work, and we have to use it for work.
yeah,
And half the projects, you're doing versions for social media as well as this, that, and the other.
yeah,
So it's like
exactly.
there's just no for what we do. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not gonna go anywhere. I think
Mm.
I'm just glad that when I grew up in the era that I grew up when
Mm.
Facebook and Instagram didn't exist, and I had like a
True.
Nokia 3210. It was all about Snake and just
Oh,
Yeah.
Snake.
it's just I had a great childhood because it didn't exist. And not to say like they're not gonna have a great childhood now, but it's just so different. Like
It's just a
it's
different childhood,
It's
isn't it?
it's
wild.
it's
Like
completely
I'm sure
different.
our parents would have said the same things, like "oof,
Yeah,
they're on
yeah,
Snake" or
yeah,
whatever. It's like "oof, so
yeah,
futuristic." Like, really?
And
exactly.
it's talk this how intuitive they are, touching the phone and everything. The other day, uh, a neighbor just put outside a few books, and he has a record player, that you could record as well with
Nice.
cassette tapes.
Hmm.
And I look and it was working, so I pick and gave to my daughter. She's 8 now, and I bought some. Blank cassette tape and show her. I said, oh, I use,
Nice.
create like playlist of songs recording from radios and everything and show her. And she pressed, oh, really nice. And I show her to how to record. And she said, okay, but how do I delete this? I said, no, you need to rewind and record on the top. And she looked at me like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense on the brain.
No.
You're supposed to just be able to delete. So it's really funny when you put that with like the things we live on the analog
Yeah.
time and how the brain works nowadays. So it's just fun. It's
So
fun.
different.
So
It's good.
going going back to animation and what have you again. So like a lot of the stuff you do is like kind of like very very quick nice ideas. But do you think you'll ever like do something a bit more longer form, like say like a couple of minutes or that kind of side of things, like a little.
Mm,
I was gonna say it doesn't have to be story even or whatever, but like a couple of minute short film animation piece.
yeah, I'd definitely like to. Like the longest thing I've done is like a lyric music video, which was like 3 minutes.
Mm.
Um, but obviously whatever I make needs to be it's going to be type based, so it's finding a way to kind of make that like exciting enough to sort of hold someone for 3 minutes. And like I've been trying to like animate quotes recently, and like they're mainly short quotes. They're like normally like 4 or 5 words because I'm kind of like spending 2 or 3 seconds on each word in terms of like the play time and having that animate in different ways and then moving through the quote as we go. So um yeah, I think like I see some videos of people doing like kind of like they're like quotes, but then they might have like really simple captions on, just like 2 lines of like basic captions, and it's the footage behind that's changing, which is really nice. And it's like there's a great account that does it. I can't remember what they're called now, but they just do like famous quotes, and there's like nice music in the background. They're really meaningful messages, and like it's just nice. So maybe that's something like that would be cool. But yeah, it needs to be something that's it's still visually interesting as well, and I'm trying to like push into that realm a bit. But um, I've been doing pieces that the single words have been taking me like a day or two to do. So maybe it's like I do like a longer quote, but I just do it how I'm doing these short quotes and just spend time doing like a really detailed long quote that has loads of different styles and transitions and pieces, and maybe that's what it is, something like that.
And it could be
It's
like
nice.
you're spending like a week to do like your quote or whatever, and then next week you'll do like a week for another quote. But then at the end of it, it all edits together to make like a long form
Mm,
piece. That'd be
yeah,
quite fun. So it's nice that I like the idea. I mean, not that I'm trying to influence or anything, but I like the idea. I like the idea that you're giving people parts of it, and then at the end is a bigger reveal to make
yeah,
a powerful piece or whatever it manifests as. I think it might
yeah,
be quite good fun.
yeah. One nice long piece. Yeah, I need to think of something. Like I have ideas and things that I could do, and I obviously don't just animate type. I can animate like shapes and things like that and
Mm.
textures. So just it's just not like character based. So yeah, there's definitely something there. I just need to don't know.
Because
Need
also
to,
you comment, you want to work with film stuff and
mm,
everything. Where do you like when you do the work you do? Do you think, where you want to be in a year, 3 years, 5 years time, or because the amount of work you produce, it
mm,
feels like that kind of takes a lot of your time and you just produce. But this Matt, you sit there and think, oh, I want to like James comment if you want to do a long format or things like that. Do you have some goals you wanna, or you wanna see where that's gonna take you?
yeah. In two minds about it. Part of me just want to see where it takes me because it's kind of changed each year. Like I started with Instagram stickers, then it went to like social media posts and campaigns for social media. Then it went to kind of more TV based stuff and titles for adverts and end cards and things like that, which I quite like doing. So part of me just want to see where that keeps going and think like maybe that trajectory will then start to lead into like doing the
Mm,
start of films and maybe that's how it could go. Um, but then yeah, other parts of me are like part of me is like next year I want to almost leave just being Matt behind and be more of like a studio kind of thing and
yeah.
be more of like a studio that maybe takes on projects but then could also bring in freelancers if I need to and who could do maybe the 3D stuff, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
can jump on those briefs.
that's why I
Um,
was thinking when we discussed the 3D, because you have your style, you have your vision there, not
mm,
always you need to learn the software, you can
yeah,
always design in 2D and bring a 3D artist, just to that you direct then as well. So it's nice you talking about like a studio way because or
yeah,
even a single artist is still working.
yeah. I've kind of thinking about it for a while. Like if if that's what my next move is, then it would be like a kind of like a remote studio where I either have one long-term collaborator who is essentially a partner who has a totally different skill set, but we can work together on briefs and do stuff, or it's just yeah, just I'm taking on things and like finding because I feel like I have such like a network on Instagram of people who can do everything, like who can do
Mm,
all kinds of design, especially like 3D stuff. So like maybe that's how it can be. And like I have a name, it's like a name that I've been like trading under my company for like years just to be like for like tax purposes. So um it's all there and if I do it then I want to be like my current site is kind of like it feels like a bit more like childish, a bit more naive. It's got like star shines and like it's very
yeah.
illustrative and I feel
Very
like my
playful.
next site yeah, and then my next site still wants to be kind of playful, but it wants to be more like a page, like you load into a page and you see all the titles, you see all the films, and you can just
Mm.
go straight into it. And like that all then ties into like doing like type that is like the hero and is like the main feature kind of thing.
Yeah.
We talked about the negatives of social media, but what you brought up a minute ago with the connection side, that is such a massive positive. Like it
Mm,
really is. Like compared to like back in the day where it's basically the people of your local area. The fact that you've got access to people worldwide and everyone can
yeah.
collaborate now is so cool.
Yeah, because I've kind of been off and on collaborating with people for like years now. Like I got into like a really good rhythm of collaborating with someone new like every month or every 2 months, and they were just
Mm,
people that who they were people who had like a great art style on Instagram, but they didn't animate, they didn't do any motion, and it was like finding ways to also bring like type into that. And I tried to get people that didn't have like I didn't care if they had a big following. I just wanted to like I wanted to animate their work was basically the
Mm.
idea, and So I did go through a good phase like approaching people and collaborating with people, and I've seen it can work, and that's for personal pieces. And I feel like I've made great pieces with people, and if they could easily be like client projects and real life projects. So like, I feel like it could definitely work. I'm sure people already do it like that, but um, yeah, it's kind of different when you're the one that's trying to kind of set it up and like do it from the ground up.
Yeah.
'Cause you'll know like
Mm.
yeah, it's a step.
Yeah, and I think one thing I even was talking on the podcast just came out today is one thing I always comment is really like when you said now maybe you had a partner that does a complete different style than you. It's something always stuck to my head because having a studio is a complete different than be an artist, a single artist,
Mm,
And when you said I have someone different style, I always come back to me, and I would love to have a business partner that would be more like on the production side, on the manager of a
right.
company side,
Yeah.
because that would free a lot of my time nowadays,
Mm,
to be more the artist or the designer I wanted to be. And we always, when we start, like just you saying that, just trigger my head. It's let's do that. But as soon as the company starts, oh, we need to go to meetings, we need to do the
yeah.
production work and everything. And if it's two creatives, who is gonna do that job? It's
Yeah,
always
exactly.
one is gonna get the damage on there. So it's good for, you think of a little bit of that because the
Mm,
3D guy, you always can hire a freelance to come on the
yeah.
studio under your name and do the piece with you or under your direction. But to bring someone to manage the company with you, the studio is always the hardest part.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can
yeah.
imagine.
So
Yeah.
talking about studio and about the idea you're already thinking there, and being like a freelance or independent artist, I would say more as you are.
Mm,
uh what what give you the inspiration every day, like to, because the amount of thing you produce and post on Instagram,
mm,
it still needs time, to get inspired and everything. We've been talking about being a dad now, like how your kid inspired,
yeah.
but where else, you look for inspiration as well?
Yeah. I don't know. Like some days, like I do kind of wake up and I might have seen something on TV, kind of like like the iPhone stuff that we're talking about. And it kind of like launches me into being like, yeah, like I mean, it like sparks an idea. So it's like that's what I'm gonna concentrate on. I'm gonna focus on doing that. And I as much as I try and not spend too much time on Instagram, like I save a lot of work, and it's sometimes it's like textures, it's videography, it's sometimes it's like camera movements on commercials that have nothing to do with type. It's just pure like live action camera movements, and I kind of like try and like save things from here, there, and the other because I used to have like Pinterest boards, and that was like my sort of realm and saving boards after boards. But obviously, because Instagram's on your phone, it's a bit more accessible and
Yeah.
just feels a bit easier to have those saved folders. But like, yeah, I feel like I do keep seeing work from people like who are just getting better and better, and that's always kind of bringing me on and inspiring me as well because I've seen some stuff like this year, and it's not like AI based, but it's just like you can tell people are kind of pushing themselves to almost outdo AI and to kind of go
Mm.
to show
Yep.
what they can do and what they're worth. And it's great in some ways, and obviously it's a bit damaging in other ways. But like some of the stuff I've seen people create this year is like unreal, and like you might think sometimes it is AI, and it's just like it's not. Like they're showing like the breakdowns and the processes, and it's just like wow, that's like it's unreal, like what you can
I
do.
think that's the fun one. You watch and you say, "Wow, that's AI," and it comes to
Yeah,
breakdown, and you say, "Fuck, that's
yeah,
they really done that." I think that's gonna be the beauty in the future. I think that's what clients gonna pay more.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's interesting you brought up AI. That was my next talking point on my list. But anyway, so how do you view AI? Do you see it as a threat or a tool to be used, or what are your thoughts on it?
I think I definitely think it's a tool to be used. More so because it's not going anywhere. And I think the
Yeah.
sooner not everyone's going to need to integrate it into their workflow. Like I don't at the minute need to bring it in just because I kind of just do type by hand and it's all on
Mm.
After Effects and I just don't feel like I need it yet. Like, but obviously there's like the different aspects of AI, like generative fill on it, Photoshop, which I've used for like comping things and whatnot. Um, but I feel like it's not going anywhere, so it's kind of like I don't see the point in fighting it right now.
Yeah.
For me personally, because it isn't going to go anywhere. It's more and more people are using it, and I can't remember. I saw something from Hey Studio earlier. Um, I can't remember what it was. If I can find it quickly, it was really good, but it was about AI, and it was something about like taste and that like AI needs you. It needs you more than you need it, kind of thing. Oh, this is
True.
it. I've just found it. So it's two
If you
artboards.
stick it, if you stick it in the chat, I'll post a link.
It's just on there. It's on their story at the minute. It's like it's been on for 5 hours, but it's like AI needs tastes, and the taste is you, and it's like two boards. Um, and I think that's like it's just really apt. I'll put it in now, but yeah. But yeah, some days like I find it amazing sometimes. I follow some artists who like they make like the really surreal. They're like things that are like warping and changing. They're like photorealistic. Like there's a few guys that
Mm.
I follow and I think it's like amazing, like seeing that kind of stuff because I feel like if I showed that to my grandparents, like they'd almost lose their
Mm.
mind if they wouldn't comprehend like that's like not real because it looks so damn real. So I find that really interesting and like I like sometimes I follow another person who does like they take like TV shows but they like theme them around different things. They'll
Yeah.
do like it's based in like a different era, like the 70s or 80s or something like and it's really cool and I like some of it and think of some of it's really amazing. But because I don't have to use it and it's not impacted me, I don't have like a really negative stance on it, other than I don't know if we know what like the environmental issues of it are going to be and what's
That's
Yeah.
true.
that's going to be and how much it's going to do us over in like 20, 30 years. But um, to cut all that long spiel short, like I just don't use it personally. So I'm
Mm.
not like against it.
Yeah, I
It,
like the idea of using it as a part to bolster creative in
Mm,
whoever uses it. Like, but you're right. Like, it doesn't have curation, so therefore, whatever it pumps out is like it's missing. It's missing details or whatever. It doesn't really have like the whole point of creativity is connecting dots that wouldn't necessarily be logical,
yeah.
yeah.
and
But
AI
I think
is incredibly
also,
logical.
Mm,
a lot of people created trying to get that to do the job we do instead, like we said, use as a tool. I think a lot of
Mm.
things, unfortunately, a lot of jobs is a natural selection, like as a print came, all that kind of thing, wrote or VFX,
Mm.
but it's gonna be more. You're not gonna need anyone do modeling anymore. You're not gonna
Mhm.
need anyone doing backgrounds anymore. It's 3D is doesn't mean it's gonna take the whole job, but you can just model it anything you want, and it's gonna be perfect. And you can still create the piece, as an artist, but instead you just go there and put all the hands on. I think it's just evolution then gonna go and go, but it's not gonna go anywhere.
no.
They already opened the Pandora box, and here it's
Yeah.
gonna stay and move really fast.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone is gonna be modeling anything in 2 years' time.
And the
No.
key is differentiating yourself, isn't it? Really, like
Yeah,
my main worry about AI is devaluing creative as opposed to a direct thing. Like the indirectness is there, like lower budgets and all. Why will I pay for that when I can get AI to do it and that have a
yeah,
knock-on effect of overall devaluation of creativity? But as a creative, you want to differentiate yourself anyway. Like it's your ideas that sell you at the end of the day.
mm,
Mm,
yeah. I think it's still gonna come back. It's like what I said, when Matt said you watch people doing and they show the breakdown. I think clients in the future is gonna pay a lot more for craft than they pay
yeah.
now, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot
Actually,
less people doing the job.
the other aspect
Mm,
is like in its current form, AI is basically an amalgamation of everything you can find off the internet and stick together. So
yeah.
the big problem at the moment is like who owns the copyright to images? and that's a big thing because everything's stuck
Yeah.
together.
Mm,
Like a massive, in some way, shape. I know it's like a simplistic view, but it's basically a collage of what is found. So
yeah.
who owns the idea? Is it the person putting in the prompts? Because I'm not too sure about that, and that's quite a
Yeah.
tricky aspect.
No. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
that's a difficult one.
Mm,
But
yeah.
Well,
anyway,
we
I'm not going
just
to put prompt
passing.
artists anytime soon.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
we just passing 1 hour of show, so let's ask Matt the last question. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
you got a lot to do and be a dad as well. Your kid probably sleep. Your son is probably sleeping already, but do you
It's
want
all
to ask
good.
a last question, James? Should I fire?
Well, actually, I kind of want to. I mean, maybe this isn't the last question. You can do that in a sec, Thiago. But like,
Okay.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see like when your kids are a bit older. Like, what do they think you do for a living?
Mm,
Because I find that quite funny. Like my mum and dad don't really understand what I do, and I'm sure
no.
Thiago is the same. And I'm sure
Yeah.
like my daughter doesn't really understand what we do. But then again, she's only 6. No,
But
some
it's
reason, yeah.
I think it's all dependent. Len is almost 9 now, and she used to go
Well,
to the
you've got her
studio.
on the After Effects already.
Yeah, she sits there. She does a bit Photoshop. I even got
So
her on
good.
Cinema 4D to model it a little bit. We used to do like her stuff and print on the 3D printer as well, so it was quite fun. So
Nice.
she's quite used to that. But it's funny because they get. I remember she watched sometime what I'm doing, say, "Oh, that's not your best work. That's not really good." And I said, "Excuse me."
Wow.
She's
It's
actually like
like
a
that.
hovering art
Critic.
director.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
like having another client next to me. I said, "All right, fine." Still paying the bills. It's not
Brilliant.
every job is the best one.
Oh,
Wait, we'll get there.
yeah.
So I'm
You
gonna
Brilliant.
think
ask
you're your
you.
own worst client? Wait until your kid can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
I'm gonna
waiting.
ask you a last question, Matt. So you're a big influence on Instagram and also, the work you do. And it's, I think, for a lot of the young generations, people spend so much time on Instagram and looking for reference. But I'm not gonna talk the good and the bads of that. But for someone really want to use, the platform and someone is starting and needs to really show the workout there. What you recommend for people nowadays, to be seen and you know, do like what you did, mainly jobs, like small things, post out there, let people
Mm.
see, just like some tips for anyone to start on the industry and also want to get noticed.
Yeah, I think like just we need to share stuff originally, like no matter how like good or bad you think it is, like just if you don't start like sharing it, like it's not going to be seen. And yeah, there's like a sea of people trying to do the same thing, and everyone's kind of like fighting for like screen space now. But if you don't add to it, then you're just never going to get in like the race kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, but I think like also like now's if you find something like you love making and you're passionate about making and you can show almost how you've made it as well, like a bit kind of going back to like behind the scenes, like um if you can like show like your final piece or your piece and then also show like some of the behind the scenes, I think that's almost like what people really want to see at the minute.
mm,
Like they want to know how everyone wants to know how things are made. And like I always have people commenting being like, oh, tutorial, do you have a tutorial for this and this? And I'm guilty of it. I don't really always share the behind the scenes. I rarely show like the After Effects side of it and what goes into building these things. And I more show like the kind of like the scraps and like the unused ideas. And I think it's nice to kind of like show that kind of stuff. So if you find something that you really like making or something that feels like it's almost like your best work, like show like the build up and show like the maybe you've got like unused artboards, like some of the stuff off the artboard, especially like in Illustrator. Like I have like boards that have like unused stuff like all the way around the edge, like that didn't make the final, like show that kind of stuff as well. And
mm,
get all of that involved and show like the process, the workings, and people love seeing that kind of stuff. And I think I mean, maybe more so because of the rise of AI, like people want to see like the handmade stuff and they want to see like the behind the scenes. So yeah, find ways to show that and to just show screen recordings, whatever it is, as well as the piece. Just like get it all involved. I think like people love that. They love to see it.
That's
Definitely.
nice. That's nice. I think people sometimes get not shine, but get like insecurity to show what they're doing and how people is gonna react to that, and if people are gonna like or not. End up like really hiding instead of just posting out there.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's also just nice to see, like, if you're a fan of someone's work or whatever, and you see the workings, it's all sometimes it's quite comforting to see that, oh, actually, I'm on the right track in some ways with
Yeah,
what you're doing and how you're
yeah,
evolving yourself.
yeah, definitely.
that's nice. That's perfect, Matt. Thanks so much. We're not gonna hold you longer anymore, man. But
That's all
thanks so
right.
much for sharing. It's good to
Huge
know
thanks,
a
yeah.
little bit more about you, because like I said in the beginning, we see a lot what you do, but not much the behind
Yeah.
the scene who is Matt. And thanks so much for coming to the show, man.
No, thanks for having me. It's nice to
Thanks a
chat
lot.
and kind of unload a little bit, just to let it all out.
I feel like
That's
we're a
good.
therapy session sometimes.
Yeah, it's nice. It's lovely. It's really therapeutic, honestly. It's cathartic. It's just nice to just, yeah, let it out.
Thank you. And
Thanks,
for
guys.
everyone, just before we go, we have the live show with David. Is here watching, and David is going to be on the live show. Is on 93 feet wide. Is 90. What's
93
the
feet
name?
east.
Yeah, it's just in Brick Lane, so it's on the Instagram we post this week, so everyone can see. It's gonna be 7th of October. So if you're around the London, come and say hello to David and to us. We're gonna be there. Matt may be there just before go to Brazil. Let's see.
Would be nice. Would be nice.
But thanks everyone. Thank you, Matt, so much for sharing, man.
Thanks a
It's,
lot.
it's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. And I stopped a lot. And cool.
That's
Stream is
really
off.
good.
Was really
Nice.
nice, man. Thank you.